This is episode 602. And today we're going to be talking about some 6 keys to greater self-discipline. You know, we all believe we could use at least a little more self-discipline. And I say all, maybe some not so much, but maybe all might be an exaggeration. However, all of my clients and I can definitely use a little bit more self-discipline. You know, it can mean the difference between the success and failure of a diet, of work, of a relationship. It can be, it is the difference between success and failure of anything in life. It really is. When we have that self-discipline, wonderful things happen, and it's not restricting, it's not holding ourselves back from things. It's doing the things that we know we should be doing, or the empowering things to reach that goal or keep that goal in front of us. You know, self-discipline allows us to pick up that guitar and put in 2 hours of practice every day. It allows us to go to CrossFit 5 days a week and put in the watt. It allows us to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym or go outside for a run. Self-discipline allows us or provides us the structure to do the things that we want to do when we want to do them. And those with great self-discipline can rely less on talent and luck. Because when we have the self-discipline, we can emphasize the skills and the attributes that we have, as opposed to winging it and hoping something is going to come along that we get some success, whether it's, whether it's investing, whether it's relationships, whether it's sales, whether it's business. When we have the self-discipline to put in the work that we need to do, there's no need to think about luck or hope, because we can control our behaviors, and that's part of what self-discipline is. So the people who are the most successful, they create their own talent and luck through self-discipline. People call it, oh, you're born lucky, or you're lucky here, whatever that is. Luck is when success and preparedness meet, but preparedness is that self-discipline. And self-discipline is it's so easy to not be disciplined, right? It's so easy to have that ice cream. It's so easy to have that cake. It's so easy to sleep in when it's cold outside. It's so easy to do the things that the average person is doing. But it takes that mental strength to have the discipline to observe the masses and do the opposite. So developing self-discipline is like building a muscle. You have to use it. You have to use it and then push it every single day. You have to give it more work so that it can grow. If you have very little of it today, you're not going to have a lot of it next week if you don't work some of these keys I'm going to go over. You just don't wake up with self-discipline. It is something that is developed through determination, through mental strength, through a goal that inspires us. It is developed slowly over time. It has taken you 20 years, 30 years, 40 years to have low self-discipline. To think it's going to happen after 1 hour is setting yourself up for failure. So apply these 6 keys for greater self-discipline. Now, these are just 6 keys. These are ones that I like to embrace, and there's a great way. We could look at it as self-discipline 101, and then there's self-discipline 201, 301, 401. There are all sorts of ways, but without the foundation of it, we can't go on to the advanced levels of it. So here's 6 of them. I'm going to go through them and pay attention to how you respond to these. You may have balking at like, oh, that's full of baloney. Well, that's probably the one you need to do. So here we go. Number 1, do tasks immediately. That means whatever you think you need to do, you do it. I once read a while ago, a long time ago, when I was in high school. This was when there was regular mail, and it said, handle every piece of mail only once. If it was a bill, you sat down, you took your checkbook out, you wrote a bill, you put it in the envelope, you see, boom, you did it. You didn't say, oh, here's to do later, here's this, here's this. That's not self-discipline. That's procrastination. Same thing here. Do the tasks immediately. If you have to wash the dishes, you do them now. Whatever you need to do, you do it now. if you have to put it off because of, let's say at work, you're looking for information from other people, that's one thing. But if you have an assignment to do and you go, oh, I'd rather do this instead of this one's due in 1 hour, you do the one that's due in 1 hour, right? You do the important and urgent task first. But we need to get in a habit of, if you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to go wash the car today, go out and do it. Even if it's not life threatening, but just the fact that you thought it, you put it on a list, you go out and do it. If obviously we don't want to make frivolous trips all over. So if you're going to be out, you go, I'm going to do this, run to the laundry, food, etc., get the car washed, you do it. But if you're thinking about something that you need to do, you just do it right then and there. And again, one of the things is, if you're on email, you're walking through your emails, somebody asks you a question, respond immediately. If it's a bill, pay it. If it needs your attention, do it. You don't put a to-do list for those things together. That's procrastination. Just handle one piece of email at a time until it's done. Start small. So to build, right, we're talking about building self-discipline. To do the task immediately requires you to focus at one thing at a time. And focus, interesting, is an or has been used as an acronym for follow one course until successful. Self-discipline. Start small, right? With self-discipline, we don't want to, if you've been sleeping into 10 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to set your alarm for 4. It's just not going to work. So maybe if you're sleeping in till 10, and I don't know why you would be, except for a night shift, then set your alarm for 9:30. Do that for a week. And then 9 o'clock. And then keep rolling it back to a time where you want to wake up to get to the gym or to do whatever you need to. Start with small things. Doing your laundry and fold it away immediately, as opposed to do your laundry and then put it on the bed to do later. You do it right then and there. That's the self-discipline we're talking about, is doing it right when it's over. And there's been a lot of things. You're done cooking your dinner. Do the dishes immediately when it's done, not waiting. So do these things immediately when you can. Carry a task to completion. This is so important, right? You could be painting a room and get halfway done and going, oh, I'm going to do something else now. No, you stay in that room and you finish it. You get it done. If you're folding your laundry and you realize that, oh, I need some groceries, you finish your laundry, then you go out and get the groceries. You start a task and you finish it to completion. You don't wait. You don't put it off. You don't hesitate. You get it done right then. And learn to work through negative feelings. You may have a bunch of mind chatter coming up about, you don't want to do the yard work. You don't want to clean the garage. You don't want to do the laundry. You don't want to do that. And you just go, thanks for sharing, and then you get it done. The more you go in opposition of the negative thought or the disempowering thought, the more you're going to build your self-discipline. This is absolutely essential, because we can talk ourselves out of anything. Oh, I don't need to do the dishes. Let me watch this next episode of Game of Thrones or this football, this one quarter, whatever it is, and then I'll do it. No, you do it then. And it may seem insignificant, but how we do anything is a reflection of how we do everything. So by doing something now, working through those negative feelings, we will be teaching ourselves how to work through those disempowering feelings, those negative feelings, when it's really important. When it's not so important, I mean, imagine if it's not so important, like doing dishes, and you have this negative thoughts and you're battling with yourself. Imagine when something more significant comes along. You'll be overwhelmed with your thoughts if you don't know how to control them. So we want to use these minor incidences, clothes, dusting, cleaning, all those things, as training grounds for our thoughts to make sure that we control them adequately to get the task done. Create artificial time pressure. We do work best under due dates. And it's amazing. Like when April 15th comes rolling around, the 14th, people are doing their taxes. When something is due, right, our bills are due, we get them out. We have these due dates that we that we adhere to. So if you have something that you want to get done, put a due date. I'm going to get it done by this time, or I'm going to put $100 in the procrastination jar. Start a procrastination jar at home, and every time you put something off, you put $100 into it, and then you give it to charity. But if you get it done in time, great. Then you can take $100 out of that jar, or those are just some things you can do. But think about a time frame urgency. We want to create a sense of urgency when we get things done. We want to make sure that we're deliberate and urgent on the task, get it done so we can move on to the next one. If we take our time, if we take 8 hours to do the dishes, yeah, we did the dishes, we took 8 hours, we stood over them for 8 hours, but really there was a lot more we could have done in that time. So you could say, okay, I'm going to get the dishes washed in 15 minutes. Granted, we want to make sure they're clean, et cetera, et cetera. But you sit there and you go, this is the time I'm going to get them done by. 15 minutes. Boom, you get them done. Then you move on to something else or just move on to relaxing. But creating that artificial time will help create a sense of urgency to get that task done, which will strengthen our self-discipline. And then use your breaks wisely. There's a method called the Pomodoro method where they talk about at work focusing on a project that you're working on, hour to 90 minutes max. Then you take a 10-minute break. When you take that 10-minute break, you get up away from your desk, you drink some water, you stretch your legs, you get away from the environment you were just in. That's the same thing here. When you take a break, you take a break from it. It's not, I'm going to take a break from work and then I'm going to surf the internet. That's not taking a break for your eyes, for your mind, anything. When you're taking a break from achieving something, or when you have just achieved something, you're going to move on to something else. Take a break completely. Go out for a walk, drink some water, meditate, listen to some quiet music, whatever that is, but use your breaks wisely to recover and recharge so that you can get to the next task at hand. When you can do this, you'll have a rhythmic process to the day and you'll get a lot more done than trying to do a marathon through the whole day. Think of your day as a series of sprints with some rest time and recovery time in between, and you'll find out exactly how much more productive and self-disciplined you'll become. So keep in mind, self-discipline is an infinitely valuable quality that you can use to great advantage. When you dial it in, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish and how good you'll feel. You know what you need to do to be successful, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's putting money away in the bank or savings, or you know deep inside what you do and you avoid it. Procrastination. So the challenge lies in getting yourself to do what needs to be done, and that is through the development of self-discipline. These 6 keys will help you start out small, and then you can go on to larger ones. So work on increasing your self-discipline and enrich every aspect of your life. If you'd like to see the show notes on this podcast, please go over to warriormindcoach.com for more information. You can find other podcasts and blogs there, and also you can request an introductory breakthrough session as well. And since you'll be on the internet, please visit me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.